Okay. Welcome back to my channel where I like to talk about everything money, and in today's video we're going to be doing a recap of February with some of our wins, our losses, and what I plan to do better for the month of March. So I'm actually going to be working out of two notebooks today. The first one is just my creative notebook that I like to keep my notes in, just so that we can keep the video organized. And then the second one is my Zicoto Planner that I use for my budget. You guys saw this one in our last money talking video for January. So I'm going to be using that every month. And if you see me looking down, it's because I'm looking at my notes just so that we can keep this video moving right along. For the month of February, my biggest money win was making $2,100 from Pinterest. And I definitely, shuffled that on over to my investments. My second February money win is that I saved $3,100 this month. I've never saved that much in a month before in my life outside of tax season, so I'm pretty excited about that. My goal, as you guys know from the last video, was to save $1,500 every month in order to be above and beyond for what my debt payoff needs to be at the end of the year. So I doubled that, which is fantastic, and hopefully we can keep that momentum going for next month. My next money win was that I paid off another $1,000 in my student loan. I'm in autopilot right now with my student loan because it is the last chunk, the last 30 grand or so, and it's really easy to get discouraged. So I am in that phase where it's just monthly payments and it feels like it's not going to end. And hopefully I'll be able to celebrate with you guys when I am in the 20s very soon. And my last money win was that I did get a raise at my W-2. I literally just found that out yesterday, February 28th. So now that we got through some of the money wins, let's talk about where things could have gone better. I did my budget wrong last month, actually. So if you guys remember from my last video, I did count the Pinterest money that I made in December for January because I thought I would be paid out in January, but I wasn't paid out. I didn't get it until the 15th of February. So I ended up having to scratch a lot out of my January budget and move it on over to my February one, and now I have a lot of mistakes in my notebook and it's just a big mess. And I did learn a lesson that I will not be budgeting money that I do not have yet because it's not a guarantee, especially with non-traditional working. So learn from my mistake. Don't budget it until you have it in your bank account. My next money, loss is how much I spent this month. There's absolutely no reason for the amount that I did spend. I usually allocate about $200 for discretionary spending, and I ended up going over that by about $819. So I spent a total of $1,019 in the month of February for discretionary spending. Last month I spent $667, and just doing that math, if I spend around, let's say averaging $700 and some change every month discretionary, that comes out to about, in a year, over $9,000, which could be used to pay off my loan. So in that category, I'm kind of making not the best headway. So moving on, we're gonna go into our goals for March for people that want that information before we get into the numbers and the budgeting and all that other stuff. Just giving it to you straight in the beginning. I do have a few goals for March, and I'm trying to make them not so lofty just because all of my little goals are leading up to the bigger ones that we went over in my last video. So starting with the first goal for March. My first goal for March is to make $2,000 with Pinterest. Honestly, with Pinterest, it really is in your control how much money you make. So there are times where, I'm feeling a little lazy and I'm like, oh, I'm not gonna work on, a pin today. They do take a lot of effort, but I'm going to really work on being consistent this month with that because I don't wanna find myself in a position where I'm rushing at the end of the month to get pins in on time and then risking not getting them approved. My next goal for March is to spend less than $400. I'm gonna try to keep myself accountable. And then my last goal is to just stay consistent with blogging and with YouTube upkeep. And then for blogging, it also consists of Pinterest pins for my blog as well. I feel like if I keep myself distracted and focused on my hobbies and my side hustles that it'll help me not spend so much money because I'm spending time doing something productive. So I do want to be a little bit more productive in that regard. So that is my last goal for the month of March, and now we can move into the February budget. I was paid the first time for February on the 1st of February on Thursday, and I was paid $2,093.65. Like I told you, one check is for rent and bills, and the other one is for savings and whatever other bills that I have, plus discretionary spending. My February payment from Pinterest this month was $2,100, and I was paid that on February 15th. It was a fantastic surprise. The last time that I was paid in the month of February was February 17th, 2022 for my W-2 job, and I was paid $2,061.78. And that gives me a total of $6,255.47 for total income for the month of February, which is amazing. I've never made that much actually in a month in my life. To some people it's not that much, but it's a milestone for me. So moving on to my monthly savings, I ended up putting a total of $3,100 toward savings. So putting that together with how much I made gave me the rest of the money for my budget. So I took the $6,255.47 and I subtracted from that the $3,100 that I saved, and that gave me a total of $3,155.47 left to work with. For my bills, which is next, total with my loans, it equals out to more than $2,000. I pay $1,000 for my portion of the rent on the 1st of every month, and the next thing that I pay is transit. It's just for the bus, and that's $20, and then I put $30 towards electricity, but this month it came out to $26.08. Next is my blog payment, which I usually allocate $30 to, and this month I allocated $3.88 to it, which is just how much it costs for me to keep my hosting. We ended up adding an extra bill, which is $45 for my portion of our dog's dog food. He has a $90 dog food. My student loans, which you guys know I pay $1,000 every month for my student loan, and I paid $1,000 at the beginning of February, and now I am sitting at $31,823. My grocery bill is usually about $150 for the month, and this time I spent about $108 or so. And then my day-to-day spending, which is, as you guys know, my biggest problem area. I try not to fill up this whole page with spending. I bought a neck pillow, and it was from Amazon. It was $28. I think it was a good purchase. A lot of this honestly is Zelle, sending things to my fiance with Zelle. So I don't exactly know what it is, but I have a feeling it's for like food. And then the other payments that I did were for sushi, like bubble tea. I went to Sephora and bought stuff for some skincare, more snacks. I got a whole bunch of shower stuff from Target. I bought flowers from Pike Place, which I didn't need to buy, but it was a good $22 spent. So apparently dry flowers were supposed to last a year, so I'm not mad at that purchase. But all of that totaled out to be $1,019.76. So as you guys know, I budget $200 every month for discretionary spending, and so this put me at $819 over what I should have been spending for the month. Which, if you think about it, I guess it's not that much worse than last month, because last month I spent, what, $667? But it's still going up, which is not good. I am gonna try to work on that in March. So just going to this last page here, as you can see, there's a lot of scribbles going on, but it's basically just a recap of the whole month. As I told you guys, my total monthly income was $6,255.47. And then my savings was $3,100. And then my income minus my savings ended up being $3,155 to work with my discretionary spending and my bills. My discretionary spending and my bills totaled out to be $3,010.60. So that leaves me with $145. The math could be wrong on that, and if it is, I'll put it on the screen. It's March 1st when I'm filming this video, so I will be carrying over $145 to the month of March. That's not the worst, because as you guys remember my last video, I had $5.72 left to my name. So we're getting better in that regard, but hopefully we can have like 500 left over next month. All right guys, so that is it for my budget. That is it for my February recap. I think what's saving me in these budget recaps is paying myself first. As soon as I get paid, I make sure to put what I need to towards loans, what I need to towards investing. I make sure to get rid of my money towards investing as fast as I can so that I don't feel tempted to spend all that money. Spending, as you guys saw, is my biggest problem. That's what I'm going to be working on in March. You can find the link to the Zicoto Planner in my description box below. Let me know how your guys' February went, what your plans are for March, what your biggest wins were, and what your biggest losses were for your budget last month. And I will look in the comments to see your feedback. Thanks for coming.